What is going on, guys? Thank you again for tuning into the channel. I really appreciate it. If you guys are liking the other content and you like the videos and you like the reviews, go give her a sniff right up there. She will take care of you. I warmed her up, but I really appreciate all the subscribes. But enough talk, enough messing around. This video starts right now. No intro, no nothing. All right, just a disclaimer. Before we get into the meat and potatoes and we take a bite out of this video, just a disclaimer. The three products that I am going to talk about are extremely useful and extremely handy. And I think everybody should have these three products in their range bag if you are a long distance shooter. These are very handy products, and I love them. I love every single one of them, and they do a really good job. But that being said, I am going to show you what happens when you become dependent on these products. So let's just get right into it. First things first, the rear bag. The rear bag. As you guys saw in my previous videos, I don't really use a bag. It's just me and my good old friend, the rifle. We are one. I don't really use a rear bag. I never really used a rear bag. I just recently started using the rear bag and I absolutely love it. It is a great piece of equipment and I think everybody should have one. But that being said, I've seen it a million times. People that only use the rear bag, the second you take it away from them, they are all dicked up. They are all dicked up. Their fingers are in their mouths. They're just doing something weird. They're just all downsy, and they're not even weaponized autism. You're not even a threat. You just have autism. So you take away their toys, they get autism, and they contract Down syndrome. You give it back to them, all of a sudden they're this great shot. So the point I'm trying to make, fellas, is you do not want to become dependent on this bag. You do not. It is extremely, something like that is pretty bad. You want to become dependent on yourself. You want a good body position, a good stable body position where you are comfortable and you are one with the rifle. You shouldn't have to have a bag to be stable and keep your rifle stable. We are not the first ones to ever shoot guns. We are not the first ones to ever try out what works with guns. And many people before us never had this equipment, and they were just fine. So, do not become dependent on this bag. You do not want to become autism when you do not have a bag, okay? The bag is a crutch. You do not want the crutch. It is very handy though. Once you know that good body position, you know that good stable position that you and your rifle should be in. Ooh, sorry about that wind. Crutch. Bag is a crutch, but we'll put that off to the side. My other favorite one. Another crutch. This is the Kilo 1200 4x20 millimeter Rangefinder by Sig Sauer. Very handy piece of equipment. I love this thing. It's extremely accurate. You can do all sorts of stuff, and it gets your range down to like, I think, a couple meters. Very accurate and very handy, the Rangefinder is. But I think you guys know what I'm gonna say. And I've seen it time and time again too. How far is that? Oh, I don't know. You know you have a rangefinder in your reticle. There's some formulas out there. This video isn't for those formulas. This video isn't to teach you how to do it. There's a bunch of other ones. If you want me to make a video showing you and describing how you can use your reticle as a rangefinder, we can. But, again, people do not have this piece of equipment and they don't know how far their target is. All of a sudden, they become downsy. They become autistic. I have to strap a helmet on them and pat them on the butt and say, you're gonna be okay. Do X, Y, and Z. There is a rangefinder right in your reticle with some simple math formulas, with a calculator. Shit, you don't even need a calculator for some of them. learn how your reticle works. Use that reticle to your advantage. Get every little piece of data you can out of that reticle, because they are extremely, extremely, extremely handy if you know what you are doing. If you know what you are doing and you follow those formulas, you can find any distance with just a reticle. Very, very handy. Very, very handy. And I think a lot of people look past that reticle. They just like, oh, you know, yeah, it aims for me. It aims and I press trigger. And no, there's a lot of stuff in there that helps you out as a shooter. Definitely learn how powerful your reticle actually is, and get in there and go look at those formulas, go look at those videos, because I'm telling you, it will make a world of difference in a situation where you don't have this equipment. If you don't have this equipment and you can't distance your range, you're screwed. All right, you're screwed. And there's nothing cooler. There's nothing cooler when you're at the range and somebody's like, oh, what is that? Oh, 1 sec. Get on your rifle, do your stuff. Oh, that's 430 yards, 450 yards, whatever it may be. Oh yeah, you know, okay, 425 yards. Ah, I was 5 off. That was cool. Definitely get in there and definitely show, read up on reticles and read up on the formulas, how to get distance from your reticle and other things like that. My third favorite piece of equipment. This is the do all, say all. This is the Kestrel. This is the Kestrel. This is the Kestrel 5700. Extremely, extremely, extremely nice piece of equipment. This turns you into the ultimate Downs. The ultimate Down syndrome monkey. You are a monkey with this. You are a monkey that pulls a trigger with this. If nobody knows, if you don't know what a Kestrel is, it is a calculator. It is a computer. So this thing is really, really cool. It takes out ambient temperature. It takes your wind readings. Look at that. It takes your wind readings. It tells you where it's coming from. It does this. It tells you everything. This is the cheater of all cheaters. This little guy right here. Extremely handy, but the cheaters of all cheaters right here. I love the Kestrel, and it's very handy. It has all sorts of different loads and ballistics, and it's wild what this little teeny piece of equipment can do. It will bring you from 100 yards, and then it will tell you your elevation out to 1,500 yards, 2,000 yards, whatever it may be. And then it tells you your windage too. It tells you your elevation, it tells you your temperature, it tells you everything. This thing is absolutely wild. But again, if you become dependent on this piece of equipment, you are now autistic. You now have Down syndrome, and now we need to strap a helmet on you. You're drooling all over yourself, now we need to get a bib for you. I've seen it time and time again too. People rely on their Kestrel. They rely on their calculators. They rely on their ballistic apps and this and that. Very, very, very few people do I see pull out an old school dope card. Very, very few people do I see, paper and pencil and this and that, finding out their calculations, or just going out and doing it the old school way of firing off at each distance and getting your dope from there. Again, you start relying on this, you are downsy. It's going to really, really, really bite you, and it's going to really, really hurt you in the long run if you rely on this thing. Definitely get out there and definitely practice on simple things. Look where the trees are blowing. Look where the grass is blowing. Stuff like that. Really, really simple things that you can see with outside will tell you, okay, it's blowing about, if I was to guess, it's blowing probably around 4 knots from left to right. Okay, it's coming from behind me. I have a tailwind. Okay, if wind's blowing on my face, I have a headwind. I don't think a lot of people pay attention to that. I think experienced people do, but I think a lot of normal people couldn't even tell you where the wind's coming from. But very, very handy piece of equipment, the Kestrel 5700 is, and I absolutely love it. I just recently started really using the Kestrel and finding out its true potential and how handy it actually is to shooters. But I was always a firm believer in going out and finding out for yourself, getting your dope card, you know, doing your charts and stuff like that. I think it's very, very handy to learn stuff like that. But that is it, guys. That is it. This equipment, again, is extremely important to have. It will make your life extremely easy, but the second you take away one, you are absolutely doomed. You are absolutely doomed. I think the two most important ones that you should probably try to learn yourself is get rid of the Kestrel and get rid of the Rangefinder. And then once you start getting good at, you know, getting your wind, getting your elevation, changing your windage and this and that, playing around with your turrets instead of just looking at a graph or a calculator, mess with that stuff yourself. Get in there, learn how your scope works, learn what those little teeny tick marks mean and those numbers mean and all that other good stuff. And then secondly, I would learn how to get distance just your reticle, because it can be done. It can be done. It's fairly simple. Watch some videos on it and it will make a world of difference. I think that the bag is kind of easy to, you can't really break it, it's pretty easy to carry around and this and that. It's 8-pounder, so it's kind of heavy. But again, get out there, learn a good body position, become comfortable with just you and the rifle, and it will make a world of difference. It will make a world of difference. I promise. I absolutely promise. But you can agree with me or you can call me retarded. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm making the videos. You can go away then. It doesn't really bother me. That's my 2 cents on these 3 pieces of equipment. I really hope you guys like the videos and this video and all the other ones. And I appreciate it, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good stuff going on coming up. We're going to be blowing some more stuff up, shooting some ballistic heads and all that other good stuff. Thanks again for tuning in. If you guys are liking the channel, definitely go hit that subscribe button. And go check out the website, Midnight Run MFG. Go check out Instagram, Midnight Run MFG. I really appreciate it, guys. Good luck out there, and I'll see you later. Later.